Hey guys, welcome to Expedition Into Darkness, an up-and-coming PvE-focused, group-based dungeon crawling game made by Antediluvian Interactive, a small dev team out of Sweden. The game is looking to create a true dungeon crawling experience, the focus being on PvE. They've mentioned maybe PvP down the line, don't expect it. Expect the game to be, I suppose, like, I wouldn't say a medieval Helldivers 2. I think it'll be a little more simplistic, but I do think it falls in that more of that kind of genre than anything else, besides the dungeon crawling aspect. You load up, you get to your stash, you'll have way less than my random stuff here, but you have a myriad of combinations for your weapon crafting, where you can change the type of weapon you have, the damage it does, the inertia it holds when you're attacking, and the defenses you can have, right? Kind of a combination or hybrid between Tarkov and I would say more like Bannerlord than anything else, like in the smithing of Bannerlord, right? You have options to customize your different gear pieces with colors. The materials change the way they look as well. You have many slot options for defensive, so you can have also a myriad of looks you can go. So if you're going to play, I mean, it's a PvE game. Fashion is the end game for every PvE game, right? So they have that. They're working on it. It looks pretty good. Their character creation is pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. I hope that they put some priority on this. A lot of people that play PvE games, or even I feel like there's a lot of crossover between MMOs and PvE type grind games, honestly, and character creation is pretty big. I feel like it would be something that I think would be well invested for their time. The game is in alpha. It's available on Steam. You can play it right now. Go search up Expedition Into Darkness, get a couple buddies, go die to some zombies. It's pretty laid back right now. I know that they toned down the zombie health and the zombie damage so that the mobs weren't just running roughshod through everybody that was testing their game. Hopefully they're going to turn that back up so we can get a little bit more experience, but they're working on new animations, dialing in their combat. Obviously right now, you saw in the intro, the animations are pretty smooth. They have good weight, good momentum, but obviously they are not, well, from what I've been told, not everybody's favorite. So I think their animations and their combat are going to be what really helps define and lock people in. I think their take on magic is amazing. I'll try and make a video to show you the magic. The magic, you have a catalyst, the Toastmaster's Tome. You then have to do an input combination on your arrows keys. Think of calling in stratagems and Helldivers to then cast certain magic, fireballs, lightning bolt, ice bolt, right? I think it's an amazing take on magic for a game like this, especially. It plays in third person, as you saw. You play up to 5 people. They're working on a camp system. The camp system reminiscent of the hideout from Tarkov, right? Which I think is acceptable. I think it's a cool idea. You can do some crafting, minimal crafting already. They have merchants that you'll be able to buy from, having weapon parts, having base small kit just in case you wiped out. Merchant, which I think is very important. The merchants can have quests as well here in their task section, which you then can complete to have some progress. I think this will be important too. I believe when Tarkov went PvE or open PvE, I think they probably skyrocketed their numbers again after the Unheard fiasco. I think a PvE focused game with good progression, good quests, good challenging quests, not just repetitive garbage, right? And fun interactive gameplay can go far. I think a true group-based dungeon crawling game has massive potential. Even Dark and Darker is pushing to make a PvE mode for their coming wipe, which this would be a decent competitor to. Though I think this would fall more into competing with Mistfall Hunter than anything, since that's also third person and a dungeon crawler in essence, right? I've been playing it on stream. I've been playing it with viewers. We've been having fun. We've been doing shenanigans. We're going to try and get a group together and have everyone buy, like, a super ordinary arming sword kit, like the beginner kit, and make killing the zombies in a big group a little more difficult, so it can be a little fun, a little more challenging. The alpha test is very small, but it's free. It's on Steam. Antediluvian Interactive, our boys over in Sweden, they need some bug reports, they need some opinions, they need some hype. I'll link their Discord in the description, right below mine, or above mine. Actually, I'll probably put it above mine. You can hop in either. They'll have people you can play with if you're trying to look for a group. I do honestly think I've played it solo a decent amount, fooling around, having fun like this, and it's just not, it hits a little bit. It would hit more if there was more to do, right? But there's simply not. It hits way better playing with a group of people and with a group of friends, even if it's randoms. I played with some randoms from their Discord a couple months ago when I was in the pre-alpha before they did or lifted their content embargo, and it was still, you know, a lot of fun just goofing around with those boys and accidentally blasting each other with, you know, fireballs. So the game has massive promise. I think Antediluvian has a fantastic foundation for what their game could be, what we could be getting. I think there is definitely a desire to see a type of game like this to come out. People love medieval stuff. People love magic. I think their take on magic is awesome. If you use too much, well, magic just might come back to bite you and put you down, right? Using a corruption feature. You can drag your weapon swings. You can manipulate your attack patterns. That's their intended effect for their combat. So you can sweep, you can drag, you can accelerate, you can manipulate your attacks around walls and stuff with your horizontal and your vertical and your thrusts, which all flow very fluid even right now with the basic combat. Okay, the combat is extremely basic right now. You have a dodge, you have a block, which looks ugly with the sword. You can see that hand. That's a work in progress. You have a 1-2 combo with your left click. You have an overhead modifier with shift. You have a thrust modifier with control. The keybinds cannot be changed yet. But even so, like I said, you can see the momentum and how well it actually flows. I was surprised. When I first started playing, it felt super awkward trying to move around and attack. You have to use your attack momentum to help position and cleave through zombies. All that done without moving. I know some people won't like that, but it is a more structured feel, kind of like you see in the FromSoft attacks. I like it. I think it feels good. I think they need to iterate on that. A few more animations, maybe a couple better slashing animations, though I don't think they're the worst thing I've ever seen. That's for damn sure. So I think they have a great foundation. They're making progress towards a fantastic game. I don't know who did the lighting for them. The lighting is fantastic. It's ominous. It's a little too dark. But if you're struggling with that, you can manipulate it with simply HDR toning changes, I believe, more than anything. So, although it does seem like they have some very deep shadows that you can't get around, right? Lighting is very important, I think, especially in a game like this where things are supposed to be eerie, supposed to be scary. You're supposed to be in a dungeon. I love their lighting, though. I think they've done a fantastic job. I hope it stays like this and can only get better from here. And even if it doesn't get better, I think it's an A+ already. So, Expedition into Darkness. Get on Steam, give it a try, hop in my Discord, hop in their Discord, find some people to try it. I'll be out of town going on from the 6th until the 13th. I'm going to Beijing to visit my wife's grandpa. But I'll have a couple videos out for this and for Dark and Darker in the meantime. But get in there, give it a try, see how it feels. I think the game could be something cool. I think they have a good foundation. I think they have a great concept, and they have a super passionate small team who's very friendly. They're very outgoing in their Discord. They are very responsive to answering questions right now while their community is pretty small. So get in there, get your questions in, and see if this game is going to be something for you. Get it on your wish list at the very least, because when it comes out, I think it'll be fantastic. Like I said, we've been playing just a small alpha stage here with the boys. And well, we've been having a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of customization for weapons. I think this could be a big selling point for it. I hope they double down and make this as interactive as possible. I'll sit on Tarkov with the boys for 2-3 hours, play the game, and then they'll all get off and we'll get off. And guess what I do? I sit on there for another hour making guns to give out like Christmas presents. Because it's fun. And I think it's cool. And I love that. I love that. Expedition in the Darkness, boys. Go give it a try. Make your cool looking characters. Don't forget you can customize things. Right click, go to configure, change your colors. Make yourself, drip yourself out. Get your bucket helmets. Y'all deserve bucket helmets. Everyone deserves a bucket helmet. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Hop in their Discord. Wishlist their game. Give it a try if you think it's fun. Don't wishlist it before that, I guess. Wishlist it after if you think it's a good time. And I'll see you guys next time. Good luck in your dungeons, whether on here or in Dark and Darker or in another game. And I'll see you after my break. Take care, guys. Be safe.